Hey everyone, welcome back to Brotherman Baking. It's never a bad time though to enjoy some nice flaky pastry. So today, let's work on some mini apple pies. We're going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of salt, and just get that quick mix to incorporate those. We've got 2 sticks of chilled butter here. We're just going to mix that in. You don't want to mix in the butter too much. You want to break it down into small chunks so it incorporates with the flour, but you want to leave some little small pieces because that's going to make the pastry much flakier. After that, we're going to add in a tablespoon of cider vinegar. That just gives it a nice little kick. You can use lemon juice as well. And finally, we've got a half cup of milk here. I'm sure I'm going to make a mess of this pouring it in, but you just want to add this a little bit at a time and let it incorporate as opposed to all at once. That's going to cause your dough to kind of glomp together and make a bit of a mess, like I'm probably about to do here. That looks pretty good. Sprinkle a little flour on the table here. Really could use a spatula for this part, but you know, who doesn't like having messy fingers? So now we're just going to take a little bit more flour, since our dough is a little wet. We just want to knead it in to the point where it's not quite as sticky. Alright. That's pretty good. We got a nice smooth dough here. Just kind of use your hands to form into a ball. I'm going to wrap up this dough ball. Didn't use quite enough paper. And we're going to go let this chill in the fridge for about 20 to 30 minutes. It depends on how warm your butter was when you mix it together. You just want that butter to chill down a little bit so it doesn't just melt into the dough, because you want those pockets of butter. That's going to help keep it nice and flaky. Our dough has been chilling for about 40 minutes now. We've got it resting here, just warming up a little bit. While we wait for that to warm up so we can roll it out, we're going to slice and pare our apples into little ring shapes that we're going to put into the pie. Now that we've got our apples all nicely peeled, sliced, and cored here, we're going to go ahead and roll out our dough. I've got 12 slices of apple, so I'm going to want to divide this dough into 12 as equal pieces as you can get. I have a little baker scale that I use for this, but you can just, do it by hand, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I also use a little piece of parchment paper to roll the dough out on. Helps it to not stick to the cutting board, as well as a little bit of flour. Alright, now we get onto the fun part of it, which is assembling these. So what you're going to do is take one of your little rounds. They tend to shrink a little bit, so just give them a slight roll out just to extend that dough a little bit, so we make sure that we have enough to cover over the entire apple. Got some melted butter here. Pastry brush. So just take a little bit of that butter, just lightly brush on the inside of the pastry. Then we'll take an apple, put it right in the middle there, and then you take the edges and you want to fold them around kind of in a consecutive pattern so they all overlap. And at the end we'll use a fork to crimp them all together. So what you're going to do here is just take this, so just folding it over. You want to leave a little hole in the center just where the hole of that apple is, because we're going to put some stuff in there. So just like that, right on the outside, and then in the middle there, there's just a mixture of brown sugar, a little bit of flour, and some butter. And so we're just going to take a hefty spoonful and just get that right in the middle there of that apple. So we're just going to pack that down a little bit, just like so. And that's pretty much it. So, one down, 11 to go. Ready to go. One last thing we're going to do before we put them in the oven quick is just take your knife, just make like 1 or 2 slashes on the side of all of them. For whatever reason, when you bake the apple, it tends to puff up, and so the pastry tends to expand, and so you're going to lose that nice coverage that you get around all the apples. Alright, These are going to bake at 375 for about 30 to 35 minutes, just until they're golden brown. While that happens, let's get burly. Hey guys, so these just came out of the oven. I know it's only 6 now, I did make 12. I already managed to give away 6 to my friends. You know, they're a popular thing and they're gonna go fast. Like you can see, even as you cut into it, it's just absolutely flaking apart. Nice crisp pastry in the bottom. Let's give it a taste. Oh, I love the first thing you get is that really nice crisp pastry, and then that's followed up by that just buttery smooth apple covered in that sugar mixture. Oh, have a great day.